We're the first generation to feel the effects of the climate crisis, and we're the last generation that can do anything about it. We created the Campaign for a Safe and Healthy California because there are almost 3 million Californians that live next to oil wells. They suffer terrible health consequences from the pollution. In large part, these communities are working class people, poor people, people of color, Black, Indigenous. The industry calls these communities sacrifice zones. They don't care. I mean, literally, people can look out of their bedroom window and see an oil well right outside their window. My friend Nayeli is an example of what happens when you live across the street from an oil well. She won't say this, but she's won the most prestigious environmental award in the world because she got the well shut down. This oil well was drilled when she was 10 years old.
I've lost my entire childhood to the fossil fuel industry. I grew up 30 feet from an active oil and gas well that severely impacted my health. I had nosebleeds, body spasms, heart palpitations, asthma, and at the age of 19, I was diagnosed with stage 2 reproductive cancer. I was forced to choose between my reproductive system and my life, but I fight every day so that decision ends with me.
We've been working with frontline communities to try to get what's called a setback, meaning a limit within which oil wells cannot be drilled. California doesn't have one. In 2022, the government signed a bill that created a setback, Senate Bill 1137. And a week later, the oil companies began to gather signatures to try to overturn the governor's bill. It's an attack on democracy. It's an attack on people's health, children's health. These communities really suffer, and they have fought back bravely. And now, it's all been put at risk.
We created history, having SB 1137 signed and implemented into law. And days later, the fossil fuel industry targeted that. We're demonstrating to them that despite their deep pockets, we have the true power, people power. And that's how we will have SB 1137 restored and implemented into law again.
We have to raise $90 million, and we have to raise awareness. So we decided to host an art auction because art auctions can raise a lot of money. I asked Larry Gagosian if we could partner with his gallery, and then we went to Christie's to host the auction. Christie's was just fabulous. They've been incredibly generous, and that gave me the courage to keep going. And then I asked some phenomenal artists to donate works for the auction, including Charles Gaines, Nathaniel Mary Quinn, Joey Terrell, Jonas Wood, Christina Quarles, Kenny Scharf, and Candida Hofer, among others. What happens in California goes national and very often international. So we have to win to show the oil companies that if people are aware of what they're doing, they're not going to support it. I've advocated for social and environmental issues since the 1970s. As long as I am doing everything that I possibly can to call people's attention to the climate crisis, I can be hopeful. Hope is a muscle, and when you're active, you don't feel despair. We have to join with others in huge numbers right now, unprecedented numbers. Our future depends on it.